39% of your income tax went somewhere you didn't choose to send it. Not your choice, not your vote, just gone. Last year, if you paid $12,000 in federal income tax, $4,680 of that didn't go to schools, roads, or defense. It went to pay interest on the debt you're legally required to fund, whether you like it or not. And I'm about to show you exactly where that money is going and why the next decade is going to separate people who understands this from the people who get blindsided by it. So here's the problem. Let me paint the picture. And this is powerful. You work, you earn, the government takes a cut. That's the deal. We all understand that. Roads need fixing, the military needs funding, hospitals need resources. Fine. But here's what most people don't realize. A massive chunk of what you pay in federal income tax doesn't go to any of that. According to Fox Business, 39 cents of every dollar in individual income tax goes directly towards one thing: paying interest on the U.S. national debt. Not paying down the debt itself, just the interest. Think about that for a second. The U.S. national debt just hit $40 trillion. $40 trillion. And every single day, not every single year, every single day, another $7.9 billion is added to that number, which means the interest payments are getting bigger, which means the portion of your taxes going to that service, to the debt, is getting bigger every year like clockwork. Now here's the personal impact that's going to happen to most people. So let's keep this real, because the numbers don't actually mean anything until it hits your life. If you paid $12,000 in federal income tax last year, $4,600 went to the interest payments. What could you have done with that $4,680? 2 months of mortgage, the family trip you've been paying off, seeing your grandkids 3 times instead of once, a down payment on a car, saving for retirement. But instead, it went to pay the interest on the debt you didn't incur and had no say in and can't vote your way out of. And if you're a high earner, say you paid $50,000 in income tax, that's $19,500 gone every single year. Now multiply that across 150 taxpayers in America. We're talking about nearly $800 billion a year flowing out of individual pockets straight to the service the national debt. That's not redistribution. That's not welfare benefits going somewhere else. That's wealth extraction, plain and simple. So here's why it gets worse. Here's the part that should keep you up at night. It's accelerating. The $40 trillion debt means the interest payments are climbing fast. In 2003, the U.S. paid about $600 billion in interest on the national debt. By 2024, it jumped over $650 billion. Projections for 2025 and beyond show it continuing to climb, which means next year the percentage of your income tax going to interest will be even higher than 39%. You're paying more. The government is not getting any richer. It's just shuffling money around. The debt is getting bigger. The interest bill is exploding, and the only people who actually have to cover it are you, me, and every other taxpayer in America. Meanwhile, the politicians who authorized the spending that created this debt are not personally liable. The wealthy people and corporations lobbying for specific spending programs that expand the debt, they're not writing checks. You are. And here's the thing nobody wants to say out loud. This math doesn't work forever. And at some point, and I mean at some point, this system breaks. Either the government has to raise taxes dramatically or it has to print more money, which causes inflation, or has to default, which would cause global catastrophe. Pick one, because they all hurt. the opportunity, but here's what's most missed. Out of every crisis creates opportunity for people who see it coming. Right now, the government is drowning, but what does that mean for you? It means the traditional path to wealth that saves dollars, trust the system, retire comfortably is becoming riskier by the day. The purchasing power of your dollar is eroding because of inflation driven by debt and money printing. And it also means there are asset classes and strategies that thrive when the currency weakens. And investors get nervous. Crypto, for example, not as a get rich quick scheme, as a hedge against currency debasement. When people lose faith in fiat currency, they move into assets that can't be printed into oblivion. Alternative assets, commodities, real estate, precious metals, these platforms perform differently when inflation spikes and interest rates stay high. Certain stocks and sectors outperform during inflationary periods. This is the point, okay? If you understand why this debt matters, you can position yourself to protect your wealth instead of watching it dissolve while you pay interest on a debt you didn't create. I'm not being cynical. This is realistic. And that's what separates people who build generational wealth during uncertain times from people who just weather the storm. Here's the solution. Here's what I'm building, a space we can talk about this stuff openly. Not doom scrolling, not conspiracy theories, real analysts of what's happening with the economy, your currency, your wealth, and what you can actually do about it. I call it human capital. It's a newsletter where I break down how microtrends and debt and inflation affect your personal wealth, which assets are positioning people to profit when the system gets stressed, how crypto, alternative assets, and unconventional strategies can protect and grow your money. Real case studies of people who saw the writing on the wall and moved before everyone else did every week. I'm pulling together research on what's moving in crypto markets, what's happening with interest rates, which assets are becoming government resistant, assets the government can't inflate or control, and how to use that intelligence to make better financial moves. This isn't about being paranoid. It's about being prepared. Because here's the truth. The next 5 to 10 years are going to be wild for wealth building, but only if you're positioned correctly. And if you're sitting in cash and bonds while inflation runs, you're going backwards. If you're in the right assets at the right time, you're building real wealth. I'm here to help you do the latter. Urgency. The $40 trillion debt isn't going away. The interest payments are only getting bigger. Your taxes are going to keep coming, flowing towards servicing that debt. And inflation is going to keep eroding your purchasing powers. That's not a prediction. That's just math. But what is uncertain is whether you'll have the knowledge to protect yourself. Right now, most people are reacting to the crisis after it happens. They see inflation spike and wonder why they're suddenly broke. They see crypto move 50% in a quarter and wonder if they should have paid attention. They see interest rates change and don't understand how it affects their mortgage. I'm building human capital specifically so you can lead instead of lag. So you see the trends before they're obvious. So you understand why your money is being extracted and what to do about it. So you can make moves from a position of knowledge instead of panic. If this resonates with you, if you're tired of feeling like money just disappears and you want to actually understand what's happening and what to do about it, then I want to invite you to Human Capital. It's a weekly newsletter, subscribers only, no paywalls, no upsell, just real analysts of what's moving in the economy, your wealth, and where the opportunities are. Here's what you get. A weekly breakdown of micro trends, debt, inflation, interest rates, and what they mean for your money. Analysts of emerging opportunities in crypto, alternative assets, and wealth building strategies. Real case studies from people who are actually building wealth in uncertain times. My take on the biggest economic stories of the week and how they affect you personally. Every article is designed to give you the intelligence to make better financial decisions, not get rich quick, not hype, just solid analysis and actionable insights. And I'm building this for the exact person I'm talking to right now. Someone who's smart enough to know the system is broken, but doesn't want to check out completely. Someone who wants to understand what's really happening and position themselves to thrive. So if you're ready to stop funding someone else's debt and start building your own capital, subscribe. It takes 30 seconds. New issue every week. The link is in the description. Subscribe now, and I'll make sure you never miss an update.